Take your time. How many people we got on so far?
Oh, I just hit it. So it's just
Okay.
about, ain't nobody on here yet. About to get this laptop set up. That should be good. Feel like, man, was in there early this morning, last night.
Yeah, I know.
And back up at it again, man.
Yeah.
Woo. What up, Jermaine, Daniel? What's up? How y'all doing? Sis, how you feeling out there in Chicago land?
Oh, we're in Chicago?
Chicago. We got Sis out here. We got Karen. She's coming on.
Okay.
A few Chicago people coming on now.
I appreciate the Chicago people being on.
Brother Johnson, what's happening? Michigan.
Supporting us.
All right, let me go ahead to this. Pause this. And then we're going to play this bumper. Hey, sis.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Just doing the bumper now. Alright, this bumper be over in about 10 seconds. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, let's hit it. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let me hit this. Alright, good morning, good people. Welcome to South Philadelphia Community Radio, WOOM 92.9. Giving you another edition of the 623 radio show. It has been a long time, busy. I am your host, Richard Hooker. And we got a special guest today, long time Teamster for over 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a long time.
We rode the bus together to get this back and forth to work back in the day.
This is true.
Oh yeah, we grew up in this Teamster world together. 623 member Abe. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, as Mr. Hooker said, I'm a 22+ year Teamster. I've been on the show twice now, right? This is my third time.
Yep.
Third appearance.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get right to it. We're about to discuss the international election coming up.
Right.
And but we're gonna discuss some other things.
Right. So
also,
the main focus of this show is going to be a nonpartisan show. Because I'm on the clock, so I got to be nonpartisan.
Same here.
Right.
Same here.
Right.
I'm gonna respect the rules, even though I can endorse. Or
Right.
I'm not gonna do that.
Right. So we'll be going to talk about some things about 623, but also the larger issue is just to make sure our people vote. At our union meeting on Saturday, we talked about voting. We talked about when you're going to get your ballots. We talked about the importance of voting. And it's very important, especially in an election like this where you have a long tenured leader who is retiring.
Yeah.
And you have two factions who have split off from that name, running for general president of the Teamsters. And it's very important that we vote. Last time there was an election for the international, 18% out of 1.4 million Teamsters voted. That's about just a little over 200,000. And Abe, I'm gonna be straight up. I don't care who you are. who wins? If the members don't vote, we all lose. You lose, I lose, our family lose, everybody loses. So we got to get our members to vote.
When are ballots coming out again?
October the 4th, next Monday.
Next Monday? People should start looking out. So start next Monday, the ballots are going to be in.
Next Monday, October the 4th, the ballots will be mailed to everybody's homes.
And this will be not an electronic ballot, but this will be done through the mail, correct?
Right, paper ballot.
Do you know the process? Can you explain the process to people?
This is what's going to happen. You're going to get your ballot, and I'm quite sure you're going to have the ballot itself, a return envelope, and a secret envelope.
Okay.
There's going to be 2 slates on the ballot. Whoever you choose, however you want to vote, make sure you vote. Put it in the secret envelope. Then put it in the return envelope. The postage is already paid. It is already paid. You ain't got to worry about coming out of your pocket to get, to return your ballot. Postage is already paid. All you got to do is vote, put it in the envelope, send it back in. The ballots will be counted on November the 15th.
When's the last day you have to put in?
I would say at least no later than November the 12th.
All right. Most people like to procrastinate.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Don't procrastinate.
No.
There's too much at stake here for us to be procrastinating about this here.
So you get the ballot.
Right.
You get an envelope, and then you get a secret envelope, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you picked who you want.
Right.
Okay. Are there any independent candidates running, or is it just 2 slates?
2 slates.
Just 2 slates.
2 slates running.
Okay.
Both slates are full. 24 candidates.
Okay.
You have the general president, general secretary, treasurer. How many VP at large? Let me see.
A good amount.
Yeah, right. And then you have the trustees. So it's important. It's very, very important that you vote. And one of the biggest issues.
Why is it important that we vote?
Well, a lot of things. The number one thing is you want to send a message to the employers. To me, that's the most important thing. You want to send a message to the employers.
That Teamsters are participating.
There you go. Because if I'm an employer and you select a leader, but he has no power behind him.
No mandate behind him.
Then I'm not afraid of him.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of him or her or the people behind them because no one voted.
There was no mandate.
Right, absolutely. Because if you look at historically, the reason why these companies did what they've been doing is because, especially when it comes to Teamsters contracts, is because we don't vote. They do what they want to do. Look at the last 2 UPS contracts.
Okay.
Look at the voter participation.
What was the voter participation in the last 2 contracts?
The 2018 contract, I believe it was under 50%.
Under 50%.
And that's why they had to do the 2/3 thing.
Okay.
2013, I believe it was less than that.
Okay.
So we have a problem when it comes to participation.
Why is that? What do you think is the problem? Why we can't get more members to
I think a
participate
lot of it,
in just voting? I mean, we're not even worrying about coming to meetings and things like that. I mean, it's there at your house. You don't have to do much.
I think the number one reason why people don't want to vote is because they don't see the value in voting. They believe that no matter what I do, the powers that be are going to do what they want to do.
They're going to supersede.
Because I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I'll never forget 2018. We were out there campaigning for the contract. Hooker, we appreciate you out here, but they're going to do what they want to do. I said, no, they're not. Hooker, don't you remember what happened in 2013? Yeah, I do. Well, they're going to do it again. No, man, they learned their lesson. 2018 happens. Boom, we all know what happened.
What happened?
They forced the contract on us anyway.
There's some people that don't.
So if you don't know what happened in 2018 and 2013, because to me they're both the same year.
Okay.
I mean, just because they got different numbers, the same thing happened.
Okay.
The contracts were forced on the membership, regardless of how they voted.
How were they forced on the membership?
The 2018 contract was forced. There was a majority, no vote.
Okay.
But they used a constitution amendment that said if you didn't have at least
2/3
of the people,
Yeah.
and those 2/3 people didn't vote.
Yeah.
You had to have 50% of the vote,
Yeah.
something like that. I think I just jacked it up.
Right, 2/3.
Two-thirds.
So they could implement the contract,
Right.
because it was in a supermajority.
There you go. And so then in
Vote no.
2013,
Yes.
now in 2013, the master passed,
Right.
but the supplements, 18 of them did not pass. 18 supplements was forced on 18. I want to say 18 locals, but
Right.
it was a large majority of people in the UPS network that had their contracts forced on them in 2013 as well.
Okay.
So people lost hope in the process voting. Fast forward 5 years to 2018, same thing happened again. This time we voted the whole entire thing down, and they forced it on us anyway.
That's again the 66%.
Right. And so now people have lost hope in the process, because when I vote, you take my vote away from me.
Right.
So what's the purpose of voting if you're going to do what you want to do with my vote?
Right.
And another thing, and I know and I know this is nonpartisan, but another thing is this: a lot of those people responsible for 2018 and 2013 are now running for office
Right.
in these upper echelon of positions.
Right.
So now people, and you see it all online. Why should I vote? There's nothing going to change. They're going to do what they want to do because they have a proven history of doing what they want to do, forcing contracts on people.
I see that.
And so people are like, man, why should I vote? And another part of it is this. And this local is 99.99% UPS.
Yes.
Small contingent of Greyhound workers. So when you look out into the whole Teamsters organization, you still have 1.1 million Teamsters who do not work for UPS.
Yeah, UPS.
So a lot of people say, well, all the leadership talks about is UPS.
Right.
So why should I vote? Because you're not even talking about my issues,
Right.
what I need.
Right.
And there's 1.1 million of me.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about my issues? Right. So a lot of people feel as though, man, all you care about is UPS anyway, and you're gonna force a contract on people.
Anyway.
So I vote.
Yeah.
That's why the culture of the Teamsters leadership has got to change.
Now, why is this particular election important going forward? Not just for UPS Teamsters, but Teamsters in general. Why is this election more important than other ones that came before it?
So, number one, you have a different, somebody named Hoffa's now going to be running.
Yes, this is true. It's for the first time in a long time.
23 years.
Wow,
so Hoffa's now going to be running. That's very important, because now where's your direction? People may not like Hoffa. Some people may love Hoffa.
Right.
But there was some type of stability there. There was some type.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen in this election. That's why it's very, very important to make sure the members vote, because if the members vote, you at least know you have some type of stability, because 1 million people showed up. So we got to vote, man. We got to vote. And there is a non-union component to this election too.
What do you mean?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So at the meeting on Saturday, we talked about numbers. So if you look at Amazon has already more employees than we have total Teamsters.
Over 1 million?
Yes, a 1.5.
Wow.
So
in a brief time.
Yes.
It's only been in the logistic business for
absolutely.
What, like say 5-7 years or so, maybe.
About 10. Yeah, it'd be between 5 and 10 years. The largest contract in the Teamsters is UPS.
Yes.
350,000.
Right.
Amazon, who does the same work as UPS, is already 5 times bigger, larger than our largest contract.
And how many buildings does Amazon have surrounding Philadelphia?
Man, they got a lot, dude.
Over 50, right? Over 50.
They
planning to build more.
Planning to build more.
Just in this area.
Just
so
in this
Amazon
area.
has a plan of surrounding major cities with huge
absolutely.
warehouses, right?
And this election plays into the mobilization and organizing of Amazon.
How so?
Because if I'm an upper level CEO of upper level management of Amazon.
Yes.
If I can't get at least 350,000 people to vote in this election, I'm not worried about the Teamsters organizing me at all. I'm not. Because if you got 350 Teamsters who do the same work as Amazon, why am I worried? Because if you can't get your own people to vote, then I'm not worried about you organizing me.
What happened with the attempt to organize Amazon in Mississippi? Alabama, excuse me.
I think those people, I think the workers down there, man, they don't see the value in unions, man. Plus, it being a right-to-work state, you know, they got the legislation down there to hinder any type of union organizing. I mean,
Amazon made it difficult.
Right, they're gonna make it difficult, and then Amazon,
one stoplight coming into the place made it very difficult.
Right, and they got plenty of money to stop it.
Right.
So you got legislation against you. The company got billions and billions of dollars to stop you, and you're talking about a small union to try to organize them.
Right.
So I man, listen, I just hope the people vote. And tonight, the final debate between Power Slate and our Slate. For the first time in history, going to have the General Secretary and Treasurers have a debate. It's going to be Fred Zuckerman and from the our Slate and Ron Herrera from the Power Slate tonight at 8 o'clock in Chicago. Did you watch the first two debates?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. So the first two debates happened between.
Did you watch the first?
I watched both.
What was your impression? Just the debate and the format, not particular.
They need some changes to it, man. They need to have teams just asking those questions.
All right. Now you had one member of the Power Slate that came down to the local, even though you invited both slates to come. Were you first question? Were you a little bit disappointed that representatives from the our Slate didn't show?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, now.
But I'll just tell you this too. I think there's more to it, and I want to keep it nonpartisan.
Right. Just.
I think again, that's why I think the culture needs to change. Because right now you hear diversity, inclusion. Right. You hear this stuff a lot now.
Right.
We're going to be the most diverse. We're the most inclusive.
No.
If we win, we're going to be the most this. We're going to be the most that. To me, it's just window dressing. Diversity is numbers and things like that, but inclusion is a culture change, and that's what we need in the Teamsters leadership. For an example, when we put out that call for a membership debate here at 623.
There were accusations against you. They said that you were partisan. So then,
listen,
people didn't want to show up.
I got that. I get that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
you already know I don't like you, so I wouldn't have showed up.
Right. I mean, I got that. Right. But I know. But
I'm teasing.
But check this out, though.
Yeah.
If you're talking about inclusion,
yes,
I'm a principal officer.
Yes.
What's up? It should have been handled better because another principal officer in Memphis, Tennessee,
yes,
had the same idea. He put it out to both slates.
Yes.
Only one slate showed up again.
Oh.
So that's telling.
So it's not you then.
No. So that's telling me that we really don't want inclusion. We really don't.
Why you say that?
Because if two principal officers are asking for a debate, and I'm just gonna put it out there, two black principal officers asking for a debate, one side shows up,
right? The
other side does not show up. That's a problem because if you're talking about inclusion and diversity, then when we're asking for a debate and we're asking for a membership debate, then it should have happened. It shouldn't be met with so much disdain and all this stuff,
right?
Because we're trying to change the culture of the Teamsters. It's already out there that the Teamsters are. They practice in tokenism. They practice in racial
top heavy,
right? Top heavy, tokenism, racial inequality, nepotism. Yeah. That's already out there, and you see it. So now
Do you believe?
Absolutely. I believe.
I believe the Teamsters is too top heavy. That
they're very top heavy.
The upper part of the Teamsters and the International is not responding to the
needs of the
file members.
No, they don't. They're very top heavy, and you see it. And when you try to do something to gain more support for the membership, to get the membership more involved, you see what happens.
Right.
You see what happened.
So doesn't this circle back to why people are not participating in
voting?
voting?
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Because they feel that they're not being represented or their needs aren't being met. As
Right.
you said.
Absolutely. And this was a good opportunity for both slates to really put it out there, because 623, the history, 2013, one of the last three locals to hold out, and we all know the players there. Right. 2018, we all know the players there. This was a good opportunity for both sides in a large city, a nice medium-sized local, to really put it out there what they plan on doing.
Right.
One side decides to show up. Memphis, Tennessee, same thing. He puts it out there. For the southern region, one side decides to show up. That sends a wrong message. I mean, we can talk about Facebook and social media all we want to, but here was an opportunity for the leadership to come down and speak with the members on a membership level. They chose not to do it. I think that's a problem, because to me, and it's just me, I think it shows that it's going to be a bunch of the same old, and that's what we don't need. Members are getting younger, the culture is changing, and if we don't change with it, we're going to be in that same good old boy, come along, get along system that has deprived the members of what they need for so long. And we got to change that. That's why it is important for members to vote. It is. It's very important for members. You plan on voting?
I was voting.
Yeah, I know.
I was voting.
So what you think we can do, man, to change that?
What, to change
the perception of that, number one, the leaders don't care.
Yes.
And that we got to vote.
Well, then the first thing we got to do, we got to get leaders in there that do care.
There you go.
And then we have to have members who are aware. And members have to also participate, because the people who are even active, if you're active in the local, you have to participate.
Yeah.
So, and if you're active in the international, you have to participate. We have to get the numbers up, the number of people who are voting in these elections. It's been a critical thing. You and I discuss this all the time. Our participation rate isn't what it needs to be. And that's part of the reason why we're having the show today, to say that the international elections coming up, this is one of the most critical elections, because a lot is going to have to be dealt with as far as negotiations are concerned. And all right, let's say 1.1 million Teamsters are not in UPS. But as you can see, during the last times, the pandemic has affected everybody. So there's certain things that are going to need to be done in each contract that deals with people, that we have to make sure that our leadership knows what we want coming up.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping whoever wins this election has a plan to do that from day one. Getting our members involved, the leadership involved, because to me that's the most critical thing. And I'll say this again, I don't believe that any employer really cares who wins. Yeah. They're not going to care unless they see too that the membership is involved and engaged and participates in this vote.
I have some questions for you that deal with some things that lead up to this election, but some of it is on our local level. And again, we'll remain nonpartisan.
Okay.
But a big thing for a lot of members coming up is the vaccine mandate.
Yeah.
From the federal government. What is your views on that as far as the membership is concerned, and what is your views going forward on that?
Well, listen, I'm fully vaccinated. I think everybody should be fully vaccinated. I lost my grandma to COVID, and I couldn't even go and see her.
Right.
That bothered me. I couldn't go see my grandmother on her last days because of the potential of getting COVID. That bothered me. That bothered me real bad. Then my wife and her health, that's always going to be in the back of my mind. So, and then being around members as much as we are.
Yeah, we have a lot of members who have gotten COVID.
So we want to make sure that we are vaccinated, but I also understand free will, and it has to be bargained at the table.
So you're saying that this particular, if the UPS is going to mandate, if they're going to, right now we know they're not, but if they're going to mandate people get vaccinated, you feel that should be part of the CBA. Again,
Yeah.
So that shows you the views that being in the international voting was important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It should
Go
be
ahead.
bargained for, and then
I mean, we
Nothing
bargained
bargain.
the tire pressure, on the trucks. So
Yeah.
all of that is all
everything
bargained.
should be bargained. When
Right.
it affects members,
Right.
it has to be bargained for. Has to be. Has to be. And then moving forward, again, I would say I would like to have everybody vaccinated, but that's their choice.
Okay.
That's their choice.
Okay. And what if members say, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with the vaccine, or I don't want to be vaccinated at this point in time. I don't want to wait."
That's their choice.
Should they be allowed to work? Or,
Yeah, they should be allowed to work. Yeah, but that's their choice. But make sure they wear the mask and those things like that. But yeah, they should.
Testing, you said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's your view on testing? If they're gonna,
I think everybody should be tested. We've been talking about that since
the pandemic first started. Yeah.
Because I didn't want, because we had 195 cases in the local.
Wow.
195, and of course, 70% of them were at the airport, bigger building. And I'm quite sure, for a fact, that there were more.
Now, with the mandate coming through, that they might make it so that members will have to pay for testing. What's your opinion on that?
I don't think they should have to pay. That's why we got
Okay.
the benefits.
Right.
If you want me to get tested, then you should have, my benefits should cover it.
Right.
Now I shouldn't come out of my pocket for it. I mean, no.
All right. We were considered pandemic heroes. That's what they said about us, right?
Yeah.
So now look how they're treating the heroes.
Yeah.
So shouldn't go into the next contract, which deals with the international, shouldn't we get more sick time in case something like this happened? And we did not get a pandemic bonus as far as this company was concerned. The bonus they said was, be thankful you had a job.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Absolutely.
They said it repeatedly.
Listen
to us as we were out here risking our lives and our family.
These next negotiations, man, they're gonna be rough.
Yeah.
You see what the CEO just did by buying the Uber style, Amazon style company for same day delivery.
Oh.
That's very, very important to pay attention to. She's already making plans on, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And again, I hate to go back to it.
To pandemic heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why, we have to prove to her that we are heroes. We have to prove to her. Even though we're moving up proud and make them billions,
Yes.
we got to vote.
Yes.
We got to vote like we heroes.
Right.
We got to vote like we essential. We got to do that. If we don't do that, it's gonna be hard, man. Because it's just my mind, man. I fight myself a lot internally, because in one point I'm hoping our people vote, but in the back of my mind I'm saying, man, Hooker, I don't know if our people gonna vote.
Go back to the days when we were basically the only one out there.
Right.
We were the only people out there. So your vote is very important. Because something like this could happen again.
Yes.
Right? And during that whole process, right, they were on employees for coming to work. So you're required to come to work. You're essential. Right? So this election coming up is the most important election that the Teamsters has ever had.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
And I think there's a lot that's going to go into this negotiation.
I think our mantra has to be, we have to vote like we essential.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we're going to have to put it on the flyer. Vote like you are essential.
Right.
Everybody kept telling you were essential. Hey, man, you essential worker. Thank you.
Yes.
And all this stuff.
I appreciate getting my stuff. Appreciate getting my medicine.
Right.
Remember that?
Absolutely. And now we have to vote like it. We gotta vote like we are heroes. We gotta vote like we essential. Because if not, it's gonna be the same old thing.
Tell us why you think that we need to vote like we're essential. Vote like we're
because we gotta hold everybody accountable, the leaders and the employers. We have to. And they're watching. The employers are watching the votes. Not so much the people running, but the voters. We have to vote for ownership. We have to vote as if we don't get what we want, we coming to take it. And that's how we have to vote. We have to vote like that. We have to vote with a purpose and on purpose. We have to. Listen, vote for who you ever want to vote for. We can go back and forth with this slate and that slate all day, and it's going to come down to the same thing. Who is going to vote? Not who's going to win, who is going to vote.
What do you mean by that?
So, again, you got 1.4 million Teamsters. Out of the 1.4 million Teamsters, how many of them are going to vote? How many? That's the key. If we don't get at least 500,000 Teamsters voting, man, we in trouble. Man, we are in trouble.
What do you mean by what kind of trouble?
So, number one, the employers will not respect us. It's going to be a fight at the bargaining table.
Do they respect us now?
No, they don't.
Okay.
No, they don't.
And part of it is that.
Part of it is that, like you said, we're too top heavy. The leaders have been doing what they want to do with the teams forever.
And pushing the contract
through. And,
so,
you know, all these kinds of things. And you see it. And there's some stuff outside of the contract as far as, just being, man, I don't want to get too. I'll just leave it alone.
Okay.
I'll leave it alone. I don't want to talk about that. So, pushing the contracts through and some other things, some extracurricular things they've been doing as leaders that cause the members not to want to participate in voting for leadership because they see as this guy's crooked. You know, what we gonna do? This guy got a lot of baggage. This guy got a lot of baggage. What we gonna do? And the employers know that. Again, if I am a high-ranking official at Amazon, and let's just say we got 200,000 people voting, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit down my management, my lower management, and say, listen, they only got 200,000 people that voted over there. They got 350,000 Teamsters. They didn't even bother to vote. They do the same work our people do. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep doing what we're doing.
So more people need to show up at the union meetings.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
Yep, that too, man. That too. We just gotta give our people something to want to attach themselves to as well.
But do you feel that the members understand how serious this election is as far as the issues? I mean, you see it. If you went through the whole pandemic, and the first thing people were saying was, hey, where's my pandemic bonus? And the bonus that the companies, if it just, I know it wasn't just UPS, say, just be thankful you have a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So if you see that, and you felt the disrespect from that,
why not vote?
Yeah.
Vote about it.
Vote about that. If that's just one issue, if you say, man, I feel like these companies disrespected me during this pandemic. Because even during the pandemic, they were disciplining people over attendance. Can you imagine that? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's important. Because remember, this could happen again. You could be in a situation where they're telling you you're obligated to come to work, right? During a pandemic, and then they're going to discipline you for not coming to work.
Not coming to work.
What?
Yeah, that's why the language in the next contract need to address any type of health crisis in America. It needs to address it. It has to address that. We can't leave any stone unturned on this one.
Yeah.
We got to cover everything.
So the people we vote for are going to be the ones negotiating the next contract.
So we had a labor hearing, not the one last night, but last week, and I told one of the labor managers, we fight over gray areas because the contract is gray. Why not make the language black and white?
And what did they say?
And then we fight over the gray areas, not fight over black and white stuff. I know if everything is black and white, the contract could be like this.
Right.
I know that.
Right.
That's what we need.
More language?
We got to make sure it's right. Because I'm telling you, man, sitting on this side of the table, that contract was not written for you and I. It was
Absolutely.
not. It was not written for you and I.
So more language you think would make it better for us?
It has to. We need more protections, man.
Okay.
It needs to have specifics in there. If you do this,
Yes.
then this is what's going to happen. Not if you do this, then there's a part, if you read down at the bottom of the page, that, eradicates everything else. And we need to have some specific language for everything that happens. Like, for an example, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Harassment language, right?
Right. Which will.
And you see what happens all the time. UPS can say whatever they want to you. They stay working.
Yeah.
If you say something to them, you get walked out, got to fight for your job to get back.
Right.
There's a part in language that say that you may get a monetary payment. That you may.
May.
You may get it. Take the may out of it, and you will get a monetary payment if the company disrespects you, harasses you, whatever.
Right.
It's stuff like that bothers me, man, because the same rules don't apply to us.
You're a principal officer. How can you change that?
That's in the national language. Okay. Harassment is in the national language.
Okay. So,
again,
but how? The question I'll say again: how can you change that? Well, you can't change that. That has to be done by the people
who negotiate in the national. Like now, check this out. And this is for everybody. Do me a favor, you too. Your UPS contract. Turn the pages 187 and 188. There's a list of people who were on the National Negotiating Committee.
Right.
Now, this is why people have a hard time with this election.
Okay.
You have 12 people running for office. Well, it's 11 now because Pat Darrow, because of the Central Region drop in membership, they had to change some candidates in the Central Region.
Okay.
So, as of now, it's 11 candidates that are running right now for office that were on pages 187 and 188.
Oh.
And guess what? It's split down the middle. 6 on one slate, 5 on the other slate.
Okay.
Both general president candidates were at the negotiating table.
They don't talk about that too much. They don't bring that up.
They can't.
Oh.
They can't.
Okay.
They can't talk about it. Man, listen, if you talk about 2018 and 2013, dude, they're the same exact year. They are the same exact thing that happened. And it's mind-boggling that we... Dude, I'm with you. It is, man. It's messed up. Dude, I saw this one, and again, it's nonpartisan.
Yes.
I saw this one guy who's running for office on one slate.
Yeah.
Sent a letter to his local about how the contract was the best it ever was.
Yes.
And, how the politics being paid.
Was this contract the best it ever was? The best it ever will be?
No. They said the same thing. They said the same thing about the 2013 contract.
Oh.
It was the best.
Okay.
Again, we don't want to talk about it. But,
okay.
So he sent this letter out to his local.
Right.
And the best contract.
Best contract.
People
best
should,
it was. Best
ever was.
Bret
People,
Hart contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
People shouldn't pay politics with what's going on, which I agree.
Yeah.
And then he said, and I don't know if this is true or not because I wasn't there.
Yes.
I'm just talking about what the man said. He said that it was unanimously approved to be put to the vote to the membership.
Oh, so all the people that were sitting on the National Negotiating Committee
they
agreed.
Agreed.
And so this is the best contract ever.
But when you listen to him talk,
so the 11 people running now that said this was the best contract ever and agreed.
According to this,
unanimous.
According to
we
this,
always have a problem with that word. What does unanimous mean?
That means everybody on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
But this is my thing. But you hear through social media and other people,
yes,
that didn't happen.
Oh,
but
man.
this brother said it was unanimous that we are going to push this contract to vote for the membership.
Best contract ever. Everyone.
So I don't.
Unanimous means we're not leaving anybody out. Everyone saying.
Everybody said that we want this to go before the membership to vote. Now, 11 people on that negotiating committee are running for office. They were part of that.
And they saying they're not. They're not.
That's what he said. I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Now they're saying something different. A lot of them are.
Hey man, listen.
A lot of them.
That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like politics, man.
You keep saying that, but people want to challenge you on that. They're saying,
challenge me,
no,
please.
they're saying that you endorse a candidate running for office on Saturday.
I have to. It's part of the job.
But that's politics, isn't it?
I know. I don't like it.
You don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like
to endorse certain people.
Yeah, you got to endorse some people. You know, you got to get some things shaking and moving. And I mean, I don't, especially union politics, because our agenda should always be fighting the company.
That's a good point.
So when I'm tearing you down, the company, you saw me last night in there.
Yeah. It's going to get ugly in a minute. There's going to be a lot of tearing down. I mean, it's been ugly already.
Right.
But it's going to get real.
But to the company, they're like, man, these guys don't care. Like, how are you going to attack somebody who's doing the job for the members? Mm-hmm. How can you do that? Now the company's like, man, we got these guys. They don't care. We're always going to win. We're always going to win. We're always going to get what we want because we don't know how to be civil.
All right, let's be fair. If you were in office at the time, don't you think you would have been hamstrung by the contract as it is? I mean,
well, we hamstrung by it now.
Okay, so then you would have had to come to the membership and say what? This isn't the best contract?
No, I would never say that.
Oh, what would you
That's
say?
why I get hounded so much now because I don't go along with the get up. I'm not going to say what I don't feel is right. I don't care how many people are saying it.
Okay.
If it's not right to me and I don't feel it's right and I don't feel it's right for my members, then I'm not going to agree with it. For an example, and again, I'm going to be nonpartisan. I have one group of supporters and, some other people like that say, Hooker, if you don't vote for this certain group, then your members are not going to get A, B, C, D, or E.
Right.
I got another group telling me, Hooker, we know that you have friends on the other team.
Right.
You
have friends on the other team?
I got friends on both sides.
Oh, okay.
And this group said, well, if you don't support us,
yes,
we appreciate your fight, and whatever you need from us, we got your back.
Okay.
Other group is not like, oh man, if you don't do this, you're not gonna get this. And I'm like, hold on a minute, for the last 20 months, what you think we've been doing? But again, that's a story for another day. Yeah, but the main thing is people gotta vote, man. They gotta vote. I'm not gonna go along with the get along, especially when I don't feel it's right.
This local, the last local election, when we had about 1,000 people who voted.
About 1,000 people.
So
talking about for the local election?
Yeah, the local election.
Yeah.
So what's our membership?
Right now we got about 40.
So almost 5,000. Almost 5,000 people. Let's just
right, about 5,000 people.
So with 1 out of 5 people in the local are voting, and that's not
good.
That's not good.
Not good.
That's not good. That's not good. We need to do better, right, in this election and all the elections going forward. So, what are you doing to get members to
I'm glad you
understand how important this election is?
So, the IBT sent out a fax and emails to the local unions about what they can do. So, there is robocalling, nonpartisan, text messaging, nonpartisan, emailing, nonpartisan, and mail is nonpartisan.
How much that cost though? Like,
costs some money. And but again, if you want to win in the long run, you're going to have to spend the money up front. Yeah. And so what we did, right? So we got the robocall thing getting ready to happen. We already on our newsletter. Did you get it?
Yes.
If you look at our newsletter, the first thing you see is October 4th. Ballots will be mailed out. Boom, boom, boom. We got our app. We push it out on the app.
What's that?
The 623 app.
623 app?
623 app.
And what does that do as far as?
So anything that happens in our local, we put a blast message out through the app.
Okay.
And you get when the meetings are, pickets. You can go to a website from the app. All kind of information are on that app.
Okay.
And even about saving for, just in case we have to go on strike. That's on there.
Yes.
So we're doing what we can.
Okay.
We talked about it at our meeting on Saturday. About we doing this show every Wednesday, and we also got it worked out with the station to put out a infomercial. Hey, Teamsters in the area, when you get your ballot, make sure you vote. October the 4th, November the 5th, they count. That's going to be done. That's going to be done every day. So we're doing our part here. We just got to get our people to vote.
Do you strongly believe that Amazon is looking at the results coming up for this election?
I believe every employer, non-employer and union employer.
Okay.
Because the Teamsters at the convention have made a declaration that they're going to try and organize Amazon.
I heard that.
So
I believe that's going to be very difficult to do.
It is, especially when the people don't vote.
Right.
So they're looking at it, and I'm telling you, they're going to see. They're going to look at it, and again, if I am a high-ranking Amazon official, I'm going to see how the Teamsters vote. If there's 350,000 Teamsters, which UPS Teamsters, which is their largest contract, who do the same work as Amazon workers do, and you can't even get 350,000 people to vote, I'm not worried at all. I'm not. Because now I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go back to my lower management and workers who work at Amazon and say, listen, these are the guys who want to organize you. They're not voting. They don't even vote for their own. They sell them out on their contracts. They force the last two on them. Look at their leadership. Is it inclusive? Is it diverse? You know, all these things. And then I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give you a couple extra dollars an hour. You know, whatever you need. And then it's gonna be even more harder.
They've matched some of the benefits that UPS has as far as paying for school, whether they do or not.
Right, but that's what they put out there.
Yeah, they put out there. Yeah, you see the commercials where people are so happy to work for Amazon. And they're going to school and this and that. Yeah.
It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. And again, look at our union contracts, our largest one. You know, they're not. And I hear people, oh man, they don't want this person to win. Listen, UPS don't care who wins. They do not care who wins.
Why is that?
Because it's the members who have the power.
Oh.
If I'm getting everything I want from, again, if you look at the page 187, page 188, and you look at the 2013 contract, UPS have gotten what they wanted from a lot of these people that are running for office now. You would agree with that?
Yeah, I have to say so.
Right.
Well, these people have been around for a long time, and you know, there's a split, but they have negotiated the last couple of contracts.
Right.
A lot of them, even if you take out 1 or 2 years.
Right.
But a lot of them have
negotiated
the last couple.
If I'm a UPS higher up, I'm looking at the last 2 contracts. I have gotten what I've wanted from pretty much everybody that's been on that table. I've gotten that. The membership has lost faith and hope in those very same people who have gotten what I want out of them. I'm not concerned. Now, the only way I am concerned is if the members get involved. Now I'm concerned. I'm concerned because now I got 1 million people saying, hey, we watching. And to the leaders, hey, we watching. So that's just me. I may be wrong. That's just my opinion.
Right.
But I would think that if I've gotten everything I want from you for the last, I don't know how many years, and the membership is not engaged, does not participate, does not vote, I'm not concerned until you prove me otherwise. The only way that you can prove to me otherwise is if the members vote.
All right. Important things that involve voting coming up is how members are being treated when they go on disability. You know.
Yeah.
The company is playing serious games with members who go out on disability.
They do.
What do you say?
And that has been a problem for whatever reason. It's a battle between the communication between Team Care and the company, and this new group called Hartford.
How did that happen? Why is Hartford? Where did Hartford come from?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Listen, this whole disability insurance thing is a problem. You gotta go through too many changes.
Members have been putting time. You know, like you could go out on disability and you have 20 plus years with the company, and to have your disability claim denied is a problem. I would think.
Right.
It's a disrespect for your years of service. That's my personal opinion.
It is.
Because if you went out on disability and they're denying your claim, I think it's awful.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. And then you got to fight with Hartford. You got to fight with Team Care. You got to get the contribution
Why is Hartford
from.
even there?
I have no idea, man. They do not communicate well with each other. All three of them, the company, Hartford, and Team Care.
But to me, on the outside, it seemed to me that this would be done deliberately, to not pay members' claims.
To get them back to work.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
It's a problem, man.
So these are the things that we're talking about, why voting is important, because we need issues like this.
That has to be addressed.
Yes.
That whole Team Care,
right.
The one punch thing.
Yes.
All that stuff has to be addressed. Because it's not just about the 22-4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big
That's
thing.
big.
Yeah.
That's huge. But it's not, because, again, 2013 is just as big as 2018. This 4-year progression, man, when did that happen? Yeah. 2013.
Yeah.
Team Care.
That's a crime.
When did that happen? 2013.
I can guarantee you that the next negotiation, you're going to go from 4 years to 6 years. you know it. I mean, people have to vote. 6 years is absurd.
We don't talk about it though.
Yeah, you waited 15 years, 16, 20 years to become full time, and now you got to
wait another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
to
you got to wait another 10 years to get the top rate.
How is that fair?
Yeah, you already waited 15 years.
The Article 40 language.
Yeah,
we've been talking about that for years.
Yeah.
Again, 2013.
Yes.
And 2018 are the same. The same.
If you're not voting, you're sabotaging yourself.
You're sabotaging everything.
You're sabotaging yourself.
Everything.
Because look at the things we're talking about. Disability. People think they're not going to get disabled, but it happens.
Yes.
And when it happens to you, and you have to go through a whole process with Hartford, Team Care, and the company, you're going to feel some type of way about that. You're going to be very upset about your claim being denied after working for 20 something years.
And guess who they yell and scream at?
You, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it should, but I'll be yelling and screaming at you. But the point is, you put in 20, some members 30 years, and when everybody thinks they're not going to get hurt, but something happens to you, now you need to be taken care of, and you will see how the company treats you.
Yeah.
So voting is important, because these are the things that we're talking about. Even now, we know we're pandemic heroes, right? We're pandemic heroes. Shouldn't we get more sick days and personals to deal with the crisis when you're out or when you need to be off of work? They said if you're feeling sick,
stay home.
Stay home. But once you stay home, then they say, oh, we're going to discipline you.
Right.
Shouldn't this be addressed?
It has to be addressed.
Because what if another pandemic happened?
Right.
And they say, oh, you need to come to work.
We haven't even got out of this one yet.
No, we're not out of this one.
Delta, and then who knows what that's
something else can happen. But once that happens, then what? They're going to tell you, you need to come to work.
And that's why the language has to be stronger.
But if you're sick, stay home.
Yeah,
well, come to work, though, because we're going to discipline you. We're going to write you up.
It's a lot of stuff that needs to change in this contract. 22-4s.
Yes.
That 1 point.
What is your problem with 22-4s?
The 22-4s, man, they're doing the same work as a driver, but they're not getting paid as a driver.
And sometimes,
and the non-fire protections and all this stuff.
And sometimes they have 22-4 working a shift before going out to drive. So some 22-4s are doing 12, 14-hour days.
Because they have no protection.
No protection. So how can you be a Teamster and everybody
not have protection,
not have any protection, and have to come? Even during this pandemic, remember the company said we can make you work as long as we need you to.
Where the protection's at?
Right. I'm not even talking about the 22-4.
I know.
Right?
I'm talking about where the protection.
Right.
How can you make someone? I don't even use the word slave.
No, don't do that.
How can you make someone?
Yeah. Force them to come in.
Force them to do all that.
Yes.
Work 6-7 days.
7 days. Some
right.
people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then you want to
you need it.
Check this out.
Yes. You're needed. So we need you to work 7 days.
We had a situation where we had one of our members, who has a judgment from the courts that they have to get their kids on the weekends.
Right.
The company wanted these members to come in on a Saturday.
Right.
I can't come in. I got to get my kid, or they're going to take them away from me.
You think about this when you're voting or not voting.
Right.
Especially if you're not voting. I want you to think about that. Yeah.
They wanted to discipline them.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
Yes,
how you going to? So we had to go through the district labor manager,
right.
the operations guy.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's going to. You want this person
to violate a court order.
To
violate
lose his son?
Violate a court order, yes.
To move packages.
Yes.
And they don't even care.
Members need to understand that things are only going to get worse because the post office is backed up.
Yeah.
You know, I was in New York one time, and I'm walking, and I seen postal employees working on a Sunday. I said, wow, you guys are out here on a Sunday? They said, yes, we're backed up. We have not caught up with the volume since Christmas. During Christmas time, right, there was a postal office in Ohio, and the trucks were lined up. It took them 2 days for a truck to get to the docks and be offloaded. So if you think that things are going to get better, no, they're not. Because we are now in a different time where everybody is ordering stuff online. Nobody's going to the stores anymore, right? So we're going to get more postal volume. Our postal volume has doubled up, and we don't have the adequate number of people working. Right. And some nights you guys go in there to work, and you'll see that the staffing and manpower isn't there because we're being burned out. So all of this deals with your vote. If you don't think your vote matters, this is what you're dealing with. When you go into work and you're working extra hard, and you've been working through this whole pandemic, you need to think about that. When you get that ballot and you decide not to vote, this is all that
absolutely
matters.
That's all that matters, is this vote.
Right?
That's if the members want to win against our employers. That's really what it comes down to, man.
It's easy to complain and say, "Where's my bonus at?"
And you didn't vote to get one.
Yes. Where's
my
extra days off?
Right. On my sick days.
Why am I being forced to come in on a 6th day or a 7th day?
And we didn't vote about it.
Yeah. Why? This all ties into this coming election.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I hate to tell people this, but you see UPS is starting to make pension changes. This will be negotiated, and if not this contract,
and we didn't even talk about that, really, about the pension stuff.
You see what they're doing to their own manager,
right?
The manager, how they changed the pension around from a defined benefit pension to 401ks. Now there are other members who have felt like, oh, we should go to a 401k. You can make this amount, but you can also lose, as you've seen the past couple of days, as the stock market is going down. So your pension now could fluctuate. There could be a point where you're thinking that you're going to have $1 million when you retire, and the stock market changed, now you're down to $500,000. Even though we're in a defined benefit plan, look what happened to Central State.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And most of that was because the stock market went down, and they didn't have the required numbers there to handle that. So these are things that are going to come up in this election.
People got to vote, Lee. I mean, I said this at the close of the Saturday meeting. I would rather have 1 million people vote and my candidate of choice lose than to have 200,000 people vote and have my candidate win. The members have got to vote, man. It's just that simple. We have to vote like we are essential. We have to vote like we are essential. We have to make them see that we have the power. The COVID has, even though it's horrible, it has really shown the American worker, hopefully, how important we are. But if we don't vote like it, it's going to go back to the same old, man. You know, everybody was patting us on the back, these speeches and all this stuff. Man, thank you.
Congress,
Woo!
City halls.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
outside,
but again, man, if we don't vote, people don't care. People only care until you show up and raise your voice.
Strength. So you show power. Right?
Strength in numbers, man. Numbers change things.
Yeah, strength.
Numbers change things. Not individuals. Not people running for this office, running for numbers change. Yeah. Numbers change things. And this is no disrespect for anybody running. I respect everybody running. I think if you run for any type of office, you know, demand and some level of respect. We may not agree on everything, but
you and I don't agree.
Yeah, we don't agree. Right, on a lot of things.
And we're brothers.
Right, absolutely.
Family fight harder than anybody else.
But the one thing we got to understand is we got to vote.
Yeah, we both here because we know that this election coming up is very, very important.
Very important.
Because it deals with a lot of things that people are not even considering, but will be very important going forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen to this chat station throughout the week. WOOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio. They're going to be doing like a little infomercial throughout the day about getting our members to vote. We're going to be doing this show every Wednesday.
Getting our members next Wednesday?
Yeah, man, we're going to do it every Wednesday, man. We're going to do it.
I'll be back next Wednesday.
Good. We're going to do this show every Wednesday to get our people to vote.
Yeah.
Got to get our people to vote, man. We're going
to
use every avenue, social media, radio stations, robocall, text, the app, social media, website.
And we don't have to agree.
No.
You know, Rich and myself for a long time haven't agreed on everything.
Right.
But the point is, we all agree on one thing.
Vote.
We have to vote.
Gotta vote, man.
Have to vote.
Gotta vote.
Even the fly here agrees that way.
Yeah, I mean he's
voting.
I wish this fly was.
He's a good teamster. He's voted twice already.
He's very, very determined, man.
He's a good teamster. He's voted twice already. Yeah, I like him. You know, he didn't just vote once. He voted twice. That's the teamster way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the teamster way. Hey, listen, for all our 623 people, listen, guys, we have got to vote. We're going to be pushing it. I know Abe's going to be talking to everybody about voting. Everybody watching this, please talk to your neighbor, talk to your coworker, talk to the people in the grocery store, because I'm pretty sure if you go to a grocery store, a Teamster's in there, you probably done stocked the shelf or something. We got to tell our people to vote. It is critical that we have at least 700,000 members vote. It is critical, man.
Just half. You know,
just half, man.
1.4 million.
Right, we got to have
at least. We have to let these companies know.
We got to, man.
You know, if we just vote 100,000, 200,000.
Ain't nobody gonna take it serious.
No.
Well, I mean, why would you? Why would you?
And go through the process again. How do we vote?
So you're gonna get your ballot October the 4th. You're gonna open it up. It's gonna have the ballot. You're gonna have two slates. You're gonna have the power slate. They're gonna be on the left hand side. The I slate is gonna be on the right hand side. Vote however you want to vote. You're gonna have a secret envelope. You put that ballot in that secret envelope. You put the secret envelope back into the mailing envelope. Postage is already paid. You don't have to worry about coming out of your pocket for a stamp or whatever. Put it in the mailbox. Give it to your mail person, and encourage everybody else to do the same, because they're going to be counted on November the 15th.
So please vote before.
Please vote.
Have your vote in before the weekend. Don't wait.
Yeah, don't wait. Tonight there is a debate between the General Secretary Treasurer candidates, Fred Zuckerman and Ron Herrera. Ron Herrera is the candidate on the power slate. Fred Zuckerman is the candidate on the I slate. Listen to what they have to say. The first two debates were kind of, you know what I mean? I wish there were more Teamsters. I wish there were just Teamsters, period, asking those questions.
If you had a question to ask, what would you have asked?
I would have asked both individuals on how they plan on changing the culture of the Teamsters. Because right now, it's just top heavy. They focus a lot on UPS. It's not inclusive. It's not diverse. Because if you remember the first debate in D.C., it was a question from one of the panelists. They said something about social issues and things like that that affect the black community.
Right.
And they both said Black Lives Matter, both of them. And when they said it, you kind of like
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't get that it really mattered. And then that's when you heard the token term, and then O'Brien said that hey, I got one Latino on my ticket. And
just one. Okay.
Right, and you can tell, man, that when it comes to social issues that affect their members, they're gonna have a hard time dealing with it. Okay. But they gotta figure it out, because the majority of the organization look like you and me.
Right.
But it's not reflective in the leadership.
Okay.
Because of that good old boy come along, get along system. That's why when you have two black principal officers ask for a membership debate, it was met with a lot of contention and resistance.
Okay.
Because they don't want that change for whatever reason. But if they want to go to the next level, get more people involved, be more inclusive, get more members involved, then you're going to have your leadership look like the people that's in there. Not just to do it just for black people's sake or Latino people's sake.
Right.
Get the right people, and you got 1.4 million teams. There's some good people, like Dr. Cooper. Dr. Cooper, Robin Cooper, she's the principal officer of Local 502 here in the city. I think Dr. Cooper would probably be, if she wanted to, could be the first African American general president of the Teamsters. She could be the first African American joint council president if she wanted to. She's awesome, man. She's awesome. She's educated. She's smart. She's brilliant, and she's a fighter. So, we'll see. But I think there needs to be a change. There needs to be a change, and there needs to be a change in culture, man. It has to be.
Were there any questions?
Any questions
before we close?
Good morning.
Let's see what
people about voting. No questions, man.
All right.
I hope people vote.
Take heed to what we said.
Yeah,
take
man.
Heed to the show. We've been on almost how long have we been? Almost an hour.
See, yep, I agree. Dr. Cooper is amazing. And this our sister here, Yvette, she's from local 728 in Georgia.
Okay.
So again, man, I would love to see that. Dr. Cooper, man, she got my vote. She got my vote if she were to do that. Now,
Do I have your vote?
Do you have my? I don't know, man. You told me you was gonna point at the ballot when we run next year. You gonna be like this here and just, you know what I mean?
Do it like that. Oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah, man. That is bad. No. I can't wait to see what our election look like next year.
I'm hoping that members vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's important that we vote.
Yeah.
We both agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll discuss this further, but all amount of talking in the world doesn't matter if our members and our Teamster brothers don't vote.
Yeah.
It's very important. I mean, this pandemic should have showed everyone how important these elections and these contracts are.
Absolutely. And I like the way you broke it down earlier. Every facet of our contract plays a part in how you vote or not vote.
Yes.
Everything we do as far as labor depends on how we vote. If we don't vote, man, these legislators ain't gonna care nothing about us. I don't care. Man, look at you guys, they ain't even voting. The employers, man, they don't care. Look, you guys ain't even voting.
Yeah.
So
that's a very negative point.
Yeah.
We have to increase the number of people voting. We have to increase, and it's not hard. We're not asking you to do much.
No, just put an X, a circle, in the box.
Put it in the secret ballot.
Put it in, and then put it in the return envelope.
Right.
Mail it back in.
Right.
And encourage everybody else to vote.
Yes, please. That's a good point.
That is
if you're listening, please encourage other members to vote.
Please do.
It's important.
It is very, very important. You've been here 22 years.
Yeah.
We rode the bus together to work.
Yes, we did.
I've been here about 22 years.
No.
Listen, we gotta tell our people to vote. We gotta tell our people to vote. We gotta have them vote.
If you think about it, if one person talks to 2 or 3 or even 5 persons, you can get 2 people to vote. That's increasing the numbers. So don't assume that the other Teamster brother is going to vote. Ask them.
Yes.
And say, hey, we need to vote. We have things coming up that are very important. So don't assume that your Teamster brother and sister is going to vote. No. Ask them. Rich, I think we did well for this.
Yeah, I agree. So it's 11:07. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. We appreciate everybody for watching the show and everybody that's listening to it on radio WOOM 92.9 here in the city and the surrounding area. We thank you. We're gonna do this every Wednesday until we get this message out to everybody here. Please vote. On Sunday, myself, Chris Rivera, we're going to talk about the debate tonight. And the importance of voting. It's very, very important that people vote. We're going to be talking about this constantly.
Don't assume that.
Please don't assume
that the other Teamster brothers and sisters are voting.
Yeah, we need everybody to vote. We need everybody to vote. So what you got in closing?
I thank you and the radio station for providing us this opportunity to discuss something very important. I thank the Teamster Flyer right there that you turn the shoe off.
Man, this guy, he's off the hook.
Yeah. So be like the Teamster Flyer over here and vote. You know, that's all I have to say.
All right, good people, we're gonna get out of here, and I would just suggest that through this whole pandemic, we heard that we were essential. Now we have to vote like we are essential. It is just that simple. Vote like you were essential. If you're mad that you didn't get the hazard pay, vote like it. If you're mad that you didn't get the MRA bump, vote like it. If you're mad that the 22-4s were implemented, vote like it. If you're mad at Team Care, vote like it. If you're mad at the 4-year progression, vote like it. If you're mad at the Article 40 language, vote like it. If you're mad at the Article 40 language, vote like it. Vote like it. Vote like it. Vote like it. If you're mad that all the teams should seem to do is talk about UPS, vote like it. You gotta vote like it. You have to vote like it. Whatever you feeling, your anger, your frustration, when you get that ballot, take it out on that paper and vote. That's how you can change it. Again, page 187 and 188 in your contract, you will see the people who negotiated this past contract, and probably the last one too. I'm pretty sure there's some names. Listen, if you got some questions for them, I'm quite sure you could reach out to them and ask them what they would do differently, or whatever the case may be. But again, let's go through it again. If you are mad at the 22-4, vote like it. If you're mad at Team Care and the one-punch rule, vote. If you're mad at the Article 40 and the 4-year progression and all these other things like that, you gotta vote. You gotta vote like it. Please vote. Please, please, please vote. If you are in the white paper sector and you're tired of just, man, all we do is talk about UPS, put that on paper and vote, please. Please. Please vote. Please vote. All right. Tonight, debate, Chicago, 8 o'clock. Our slate candidate, General Secretary candidate, Fred Zuckerman. Ron Herrera, Power Slate candidate, General Secretary candidate. Please vote. Please watch. Please listen and vote. Watch, listen, and vote. Please do. All right? And again, I'm going to close it by saying this. I would rather have 1 million people vote and my candidate lose than to have 200,000 people or less vote and my candidate win. We got to have the people to vote. Stop thinking that the power is in the leadership. It is not. I get so frustrated when I keep hearing this. I get it. Leadership is important. I get it. And it is. But the power comes from the membership. Fred Hampton said it better than I could ever say it. Anywhere there's people, there's power. Not anywhere there's leaders, not anywhere there's generals, and not anywhere there's people, there's power. All right, we're going to get out of here. And remember, the people have the power, the members have the power, the members have the vote to change these things. Let's get it done. Don't complain about it. Don't put all your eggs in one candidate basket. Listen, we all make mistakes and we're not perfect. But the members have got to vote. The CEO of UPS does not care who wins this election. The CEO of Amazon does not care. All these employers do not care of whoever wins. The only way they care is if the people vote. Bottom line. Bottom line. Don't get these delusional grandeur if this person wins salvation and all. No. People. If you want true culture change, true salvation, and all this stuff, the people got to vote. Plain and simple. All right, Abe, appreciate you, man, for coming. See you next week. All right, guys, be good. Thank you for listening to 92.9 WOOM, South Philadelphia Community Radio. Give you another edition of the 623 Radio Show. God bless. We love you, and we see you guys real soon.